Yo, let's cook something. For whatever reason, I just feel hungry. Just makes no sense. I don't think that it makes sense how much I feel like I have to eat. I'm just saying. Okay, you're not gonna see my face because I'm gonna put this back in its place. I don't know. I've been trying to understand the reality of people, but I have to say that the further I progress along my own way, the less I actually understand other people. You know, you go to people, they say they just had surgery for whatever reason, and you think, I mean, why don't you just figure out your diet, man? I mean, you could be living a completely different life if you just figure out your diet and instead you have what they say, you know, some stones in your kidney or whatever, and you have it removed surgically. And then you're moaning about how much it hurts and all that kind of stuff. And I think, well, you chose this, man. I mean, you chose this. And now you're whining about it. So I can't help it that we're all kind of weak and sick and addicts. I don't know. I just feel like this is not really... I mean, I also don't really want to talk about these topics, but it seems to be all there is. People are weak, they're moping, they don't know what's going on, they're just confused, you know, all that kind of stuff. And now I'm supposed to cook for myself, go home and say, you know what? I just bought the cheapest eggs that I found, and now I'm going to cook a hearty meal with it because, I don't know, it keeps me alive. And I don't want to, you know, get sucked into this organic stuff because I don't think it actually makes that much of a difference if it's being produced industrially. Then it's an industrial product, and then to me it's the same thing. I don't know. In your mind, you can probably transform any poison. In the end, it's just a concept. Okay, mushrooms I have collected yesterday and that I have to eat, lest it be infested by flies. I cannot guarantee you that these are edible. If you never hear from me again, right, then I died. But I have already tested similar mushrooms and they all worked according to the book. But they all look kind of the same. So I cannot say, you know, this is this or this is that. The rest of this mushroom is drying on the heater, the radiator, which I have turned on in the kind of like, and in the bathroom because of the plants. Okay, let's work ourselves through this meal. Okay, the idea I had was actually I wanted to make some kind of a bread. And then I wanted to, I don't have butter, that's a real shame. I also am gonna use algae. Because I have these chlorella algae, but I don't know what to do with them. So I started to say, hey, I'll just experiment. I like the taste of algae. It's just getting used to it, like a more microbiotic, I don't know, some kind of a different diet. Okay, so what do I need to do? I want to have like a kind of like a chickpea flour bread. That's what I want to have. I want to have some kind of like a chickpea flour bread. And I want to top it, you know, with mushrooms. I want to top it with egg. Chili is going to be a part of this, smoked garlic, Smoked garlic is kind of insane and I have to use it before it shrivels away. Has a nice smell. I want to make some kind of a dip thing with soy sauce and algae. I mean, this is like, you just have to get used to a different way of eating. That's all I'm saying. I'm already kind of getting used to it. And because I have some heavy work in front of me, which includes hiking things and, you know, yoga sessions and all this emotional stuff, right? I don't have to be a content creator to be struggling. You know, I just have to know what to do when I am struggling. Okay, question, just chickpea flour? Probably gonna add some, yeah, I'm not sure, rye flour. Chickpea flour is what I believe to be more palpable, but I'll probably add some rye flour just for the substance. I just feel like yesterday I went hiking for a couple of hours, plus all the talking. To me, it's just emotional lifting. Okay, this is the Swertia powder, Swertia. And I'm just gonna mix this with the water I yesterday collected from the river. I'm actually thinking about how I can get there more often. You know, I'll see. Maybe this is just what I have to do, right? I mean, if I'm struggling with cold in winter, then I have to get used to the cold. You know, instead of trying to turn up the heat more, because I don't want to live a life where I'm constantly just fighting away cold. I just want to learn how to embrace it like Wim Hof. And to me, it's just a major struggle. I don't know how other people do this so easily. I guess everyone's simply different. I have a very sensitive nature, which is why I have to go through so much hardship to toughen up. So this is like a teaspoon of Swertia powder. This goes into this glass. And then, if you can, take filtered water. If not, maybe clean river water. And this is what I'm gonna drink tomorrow then. And probably do a yoga session, or I don't know actually what I'm gonna do today still. And this is just gonna stand like this through the night until tomorrow. Wow. Never actually thought about it. I think this has different properties. Like the water itself. It's different. Differently charged. That's crazy, man. Like, just if you put something in it. Could also, of course, be the temperature. It's really bitter. Swertia powder is really bitter, but it's what keeps you conscious. It keeps, I don't know, it just cleanses you. And if you've done your cleansing already, you know, it's just a nice kind of a vibe, because you need to be balanced also dietary. You need dietary balance. So yesterday I actually ate, because my neighbors put out food that they rescued from the supermarket, and they were also cookies. And I said, you know what, I just feel like eating this, I'm just gonna eat it. So I just ate all the cookies and just said, yeah, I'm just gonna see. And today I woke up, I don't know, I actually felt energetic. So I don't know, to me it's not to just say, yeah, sugar is super evil. I think it's with anything, you just have to know how to work with it. So if you drink this, you know, drink it and then go for a hike. If you want an interesting experience, you're gonna get that. You know, eat nothing, just drink this and then hike. And then know how, you know, warriors felt like back then, you know. Just, I mean, let's say you were on a mission and you had, you know, this is like Lord of the Rings. You know, if nobody comes and says to you, hey, I'm Gandalf, you know, you have to carry this ring to Mount Doom. You know, you're the bearer. Well, you're the bearer of every desire or of everything you actually want in your life. You know, you have to carry that. So carry that through Mordor, because that's where you are. That's the industrial, you know, the industrial reality. That's Mordor. Okay, and I'll just let that stand. Okay, somewhere. I don't know. Sometimes I just have to do these things. I knew now if I wanted to make this food, it had to be proper. I had to do this food proper. It wouldn't have done to just, you know, throw some shit together. I really knew if I want to do this, then I have to take my time and make a proper meal out of it. You know, and maybe even if I just do this once a week, like one proper meal once a week and the rest is a bit like nibbling or something. So you really look forward to your next meal. I don't know. I cannot understand why I need to eat the amount of food that I eat. Sometimes I simply work with acceptance. Now the first thing I feel like doing, damn, I also have this soup still. This is so stupid. Actually, I will eat it next to it. I will eat... Okay, first the bread, because then it can sit a little. Yeah, okay. I have a lot of bananas, and I know that bananas can be used instead of eggs for making bread. So I got these for free. Well, technically, I mean, I had to invest time to get them. And now I also want to make sure that I use them. So to get the bread to be a bit fluffy, just have to see if this is, yeah, visible. Right, so to get the bread to be a bit fluffy, I can even make more bread so I have more tomorrow, right? So this is like preparing for something. But also using the resources that you've been given. I don't know. I understand that not everyone leads a life like I do. But maybe you're struggling yourself and you just started to, you know, be a bit more minimalistic. Well, you just have to get used to this. And now I have these algae in a container already for some time. I mean, might as well use them and just see. Get used to different flavors, you know, and just be a little bit open to other cultures. I mean, this is still globalization, right? I mean, we're still in this, which means there's still a lot of food available, you know, everything is just mass production, you know, that's the reality. That's what we're dealing with at the moment. So it's not like you're gonna starve. I mean, that's the very least of your worries, starvation. And that's actually a good point. The question is, of course, then still with how you're gonna get the food. Well, you have to be smart. Because I am doing something like community service online. But, and that has to be clear to everyone who chooses to start with sadhana, that if you are stable and you clean and cleanse and do your spiritual homework, that as soon as you leave the house and people see you, they notice the difference. And then all kinds of emotions may shoot through them. You know, I meet people that suddenly start to smile. I meet a lot of people that want to get a reaction from me, that are trying to make me angry or something. And I simply hold my ground. You know, I'm there to give stability, which is I cannot flip if you're trying to puncture me, if you want to call it like this, which you might, and which might do what other people are trying to do justice. You know, because they're trying to throw you off your, so-called pedestal. Which is not something you put yourself on, it's just you realized who you are and you said, wow, that seems to be me and other people seem to be different, which is why, okay, I need to declutter myself. I need to have a diet that is specifically me, right? I need to adjust to my own needs. Wow, I don't know. I just feel like eating a lot of food now. I don't know. I just really want to stuff myself. Because I don't know when I'm gonna have the next meal. I'm just saying. It's just, you have to, I have been going through really hard times. Like, you know, you can call this self-inflicted, but in certain ways I had no choice. I just had to prove to myself also in a way that I can do it. But not only had I to prove it to myself, it just happened. It just turned out the way it was. Wow, this is gonna be, you know, I like kind of like sticky bread. I don't know. I mean, I do know. Okay, bicarbonate of soda. Cumin. Cumin. Fresh cumin is not fresh, of course. Don't even know how that looks like. You know, that's also living in times of industrialization. You actually don't know how things grow. Okay, if you don't like cumin, well, too bad. Because I suppose it's good for you. And sometimes you just have to make food simply because it helps. And not because it's super nice and super tasty. Because super nice and super tasty, I mean, like I said, you can get used to any taste. Nobody that I know liked coffee in the beginning. They possibly liked the effect, but they forgot to look at the consequences that the effect brings over a long time. Plus, if you drink 2 cups per day and work in a tea shop, then you kind of miss the point. I'm just saying. So, what am I supposed to say to you? Nothing. I just come, I order the tea, I leave. Because otherwise you're just gonna steal too much of my time. So, I just realized it. I mean, I just was in this Indian Thai kind of shop. And this guy was like, oh, my stomach, oh, it hurts so much. I had surgery. And I was like, you know, last time we met, he was talking about this. And I said, well, why don't you, you know, just work with your diet. But he didn't want to do that. And now he was complaining about the pain of the surgery. I first started to say something, and then I realized that he just wants to complain, because that's how he gets energy. He just wants to complain, and then people come and they pity him and they say, oh yeah, poor guy, you know, toot toot. And I realized it, so I stopped at some point. I just paid the money and I just left without saying anything any longer. So I'm sometimes not quite sure. People just seem like they're some kind of monster. And I just feel like, I feel more feline. Some people seem more like other things. So, yeah, I cannot say that I can agree to the way we've been raised. You know, lumping everyone together, it's just not the way it works. I should have had different kind of training. I mean, I just did it myself in the end, or spirit was guiding me, but also was looking for answers. So you're self-responsible, that's what I'm saying. In this kind of a society right now, during these times, we need warrior material people who just do their own training, who look for their own. You know, that's the secret, yeah, that's the secret, my friend. Nobody's been telling you that, you're completely on your own. Nobody's gonna do this for you. Your life is your life. You either follow others and help them to realize their dream, or you simply, you know, take what you can and then just lead your own life. You know, that's the only one anyone will ever tell you. You just have to lead your own life. Right? You have to work with your shame. Nobody's gonna do that for you. You know, I cannot make your, that's bicarbonate of soda. I cannot make your shame go away. You have to transform it, you have to transcend it, and that's an active process. And you can start by sweeping your yard. That's salt. And that's simply the truth. And that's how I started living my life. And here, I'm still there, right? You know, have some advice from someone that never tries to be nice, because it's a waste of time. Nature isn't nice. Nature is productive, right? When it's too cold and you've got no food, well, then you better keep on breathing. Now, I'm just experimenting. I see what it does. I ate the sugar. I cannot say I got the rush that I normally would have gotten, which is weird. Maybe because I'm already high as it is, because I stopped masturbating. I'm just saying. I mean, you do things, you just have energy. And this energy will keep you erect. You just have to be able to deal with this, because you've been raised to be weak, literally. Yeah, I'm not quite sure. I have bought more gram flour, which also sells as chickpea flour. So I simply like to look underneath the surface. But if you do that, right? So some people, they talk about all these, you know, truffles and stuff and psilocybin. Yeah, that's the door to the underworld. If you open that, you have to know how to get back. I'm just saying. Okay, this seems to be bakeable. Now I can let that stand. Maybe cover it with a lid. No, I cannot. Yeah, I can use this as a lid. Just let it stand. Here on the side. Okay, now question chili. I will put that with the mushrooms. I will just take one, and then I will take garlic. Like in this case, it's smoked garlic. And actually I'm gonna make I'm gonna add the mushrooms to the eggs, other way around, the eggs to the mushrooms. Okay. See, it's already shriveled. Too bad, just one is shriveled. I mean, smoked garlic is really expensive actually. So I don't think it's that necessary. So in a sense, I cannot freely choose. You know, my feeling is guiding me what I need to do, but then I need to do it. You get what I'm saying, right? Plus, I'm living on the edge. Have been for a very long time. So you have to get used to this. Because I don't know what tomorrow is gonna bring. You know, maybe I'm gonna suddenly start selling books. You know, hell if I know. I don't know, man. I've been doing this for a very long time. I have already sold books. But, you know, I don't know. And that means you're living on the edge. There are no securities in your life. Anything could fall away any second. It's like you're hanging on a thread. And you're just clinging with all your might. And for that you need something to hold on. I mean, you need some kind of a resolve. You need some kind of maybe a mission or a vision. Because otherwise you'd never do this. You know? It's probably something that you want. Something that you need. And that's why you go through such an ordeal. This is a bit like the Revenant. Only to you it's not so much about revenge. It's just about love. Because you actually want to create life. You don't want to create death. You know, that happens by itself. Oh wow. I shouldn't. Actually, I don't know. I didn't want to cut garlic on here because I thought it was more like for fruits. But I don't think that's actually necessary any longer. I'm not that fond of fruits. They kind of lost their appeal to me. Because they're also a bit too acidic. So yeah, if you want to stay alive, then you have to figure out your diet. Wow. Sometimes I think, you know, it isn't to just explode in my face. Okay. This is a bit better for baking bread. So you see, it doesn't have to always take super long to make food. I am also running out of oils, but that's okay. I'll just have to get some more ghee one of these days. So sometimes I really want to just reduce on the amount I eat, but every time I try, I'm losing my ability to see myself doing anything. So if I stop eating, then I just feel reluctant to do anything. So I cannot stop eating because there's still things to do. If I stop eating, then I will die, In the sense of being an active member of the community, which I'm trying to be. But I first have to see that I am simply, that I can hold my own ground against darkness. Which is where you have to get to know your shadow. You have to know what you're working with. Which is why in A Wizard of Earthsea, Ged, who later becomes then the Archmage, he got to know his shadow and he learned to integrate it so that it doesn't turn you into something else. So yeah, I don't really know what other people are about. So this is clearly a good meal for winter. But also for summer. It's just gonna kick you through your depression, right? But you have to want that. If you don't want it, right? You have to really want to live. That's the real challenge, my friend. I keep saying that. Because I never wanted to harm anyone, I'm just saying. Right, so you can say in the end what happened to Ed Hardy. Well, he became, he forgot how to be hard. Because he got pampered. Wow, it's a lot of fat for someone who's struggling. Yeah, I think it's okay. Okay, now cutting the mushrooms. I'm just gonna put them in already. So it's also not to fuss about this. Sometimes you just need to eat. Sometimes you just need to make a meal. And then you just have to push through. Just have to do whatever needs to be done. So if people ask me to talk, you know, I don't want to talk to you, man. You know, you do what you do. If you're not doing it, well, cheerio, man. Because I cannot stand around and wait for you. You either do your job or you don't do it. And if you don't know what your job is, then you have to figure it out, just as I did. And once you know, you'll just do it. And then you'll stay away from people that try to get you to chill. Because I'm not here to chill. I mean, if you want to chill, then you have to work hard first. But nobody can just chill. You first have to work. And then, you know, action and then relaxation. You know, that works. But just relaxation, that doesn't work. So yeah, I'm not gonna say to you that my life's gonna be like this or like that, because I don't know. Okay, this just goes in there like this. It's probably gonna be a bit slimy. Gonna add a bit of salt. Gonna start baking the bread. Put this on top. Get some coconut fat. So I'm very picky. And I'm getting less and less whiny. So you can see and perceive transitions. Oh yeah, I could also actually put ginger in this, but I'm reluctant to do this now. Okay. Where's this? I know I have like such a really big spoon. But it's not here. Where is it? Oh, it's there. Okay, I can't use this now. Okay, I'll add some nutmeg to the egg. Sometimes you can just bake one smaller thing first, but if you have experience, you just know how the dough is supposed to be like. So I'm gonna bake it a bit thinner, like a flat bread. And then I'm just gonna put the egg and stuff on top and eat the soup next to it. And then I have like a nice, you know, soft bed for whatever I want to eat on top. You know, and then I can feel really full and stuffed and can complain, or I just take it like a man. You know, humor still exists, right? It's just, mostly you should just take this seriously. I can see garlic in this. Now I also put mayonnaise on top of the bread. I also have to mix. Now this is for the soup. I'm just saying, sometimes I just need a big meal. So I just know that I'll be able to eat this. Okay, one more serving for tomorrow. It's also got meat in it, by the way. So it's like a, you know, like a broth to strength. Okay, black pepper. Okay, now question. Yeah, I'm gonna take this cup, 3 to 4 eggs, 4, because if it's too much, then I can eat the rest tomorrow. So I don't have to eat it all now. Eggshells are perfect for your kitchen compost if you have one. Oh wow. Oh. Now you can work under stress. You can learn to cook like in the kitchen. Because maybe that's what's in store for your life. Sometimes you have to simply work under pressure. And then you just have to push yourself to just get this done so you have some food and then you eat it and then you progress and move on. I'm just saying. That's simply somehow what's in my life. But to still manage to not flip out and freak out and throw a tantrum if something doesn't work your way. You just have to breathe. Salt, pepper, quite a bit of it, you know, spicy food kicks you in the rear. Nutmeg, something with your root chakra probably activates certain channels, I don't know, man. It's just, maybe it's an aphrodisiac, no. I mean, we're living in times of plenty, at least in terms of food. The spiritual, emotional stuff, you're on your own with this. But you get the food, you get the lodging. Everything else you have to do yourself. You know? That's the truth. If you complain, then you don't get it. If you whine, then you don't get it. If you go to the doctor and it hurts afterwards, well then, realize that there are choices that you can do again next time. But then the healing will take some time. And that's just the sad truth of, you know. So like I said, I don't know about these mushrooms. I just had a good feeling and they look like the ones I've seen in the book. So you're self-responsible, that's all I'm saying. Okay, let's see. Yup. Okay, it's gonna be a big meal. Yeah? Big meal. Big meal! Big meal. Yeah, I may actually not be able to eat it all. But it's better to do it like this once in a while than to sit around moping. You know? And no, he never shuts up. He never shuts up. Because that'll keep you from talking, you know? Inside your mind, as long as I'm talking, you know you're not talking. And that to me is a benefit. Because I just take one look at you and I know you don't know what you're talking about, so you shouldn't talk at all. You know, you should just sit there quietly and learn to meditate. Okay, 1 spoon of chlorella algae into the mixing thing. Also some wasabi powder, just to make it a bit more spicy. You know, that could be like a different kind of mayonnaise. We could also mix this with mayonnaise. I mean, you can do whatever you want, technically. You just have to be peaceful. You know, that's the kind of world this is. So if you don't drive a car, then nobody can stop you. Oh wow, that's bitter. Wow, this squirtier stuff is super bitter. Okay, now when the mushrooms are done, I can take this, put this to the side. Okay, now this is going to be tricky to not burn the egg, but I can turn the heating already off, because that's the kind of man I am, yeah? That's the kind of man I am. Show me a woman that can deal with this, you know? It's going to be hard to find one. Okay, yes, sometimes... Because with gas, it may be that you cannot reduce the flame. So you can just do it like this. Take the rest heat. Maybe just heat it up one more time. And then prepare myself for my next yoga session. I don't know, I'm just on fire. Because I realized certain things seem to work, right? Certain things just work for me. Specifically, I'll keep saying that as an individual, and I worked hard to figure these things out. You know, I like a bit slimy egg. So you want to learn to know the movements, the motions, and also to remember what you wanted to cook and then cook it. Okay, this is good. And like I said, just be careful with the mushrooms. You don't know until you have tested it. So that comes to the side. Now this goes on top. Wow. I mean, do you see this? Yeah, you see it. It's a big bread, my friend. It's a big bread. Okay, now you've got this. Wasabi, chlorella algae. Just mix it. Because the wasabi is sometimes a bit so you can mix this and then store it in the fridge. So I'm also really choosing really wisely the kind of money I have, what to invest it in. So I stopped drinking alcohol. you know, and started to collect mushrooms from the forest. Okay, that's a bit... Okay, it's a bit like a sauce. Could mix it with the mayonnaise. Or just sprinkle it like this on top of the meal. Just want to see. Wow, yeah. It's nice. It's a bit like sushi. Like the nori leaves, right? Nice. This is actually pretty nice. You can also put it in the soup. I did that yesterday. Wow. Now, I'm not gonna ask why I have to eat this. I'm just gonna eat this. But I'm also gonna show you how it's gonna look like in the end. So there is also something about not really tasting the food before cooking, before eating it. Okay. I'm probably just gonna turn it into one sauce. So I'm gonna put the mayonnaise in. Okay. So I have a very transitionary diet, which means that sometimes I just combine things to just see what it does, how it works. Okay, now you've got some different kind of mayonnaise. Well, it works for me. It's an interesting flavor, certainly. Okay, now I take... Yeah, it's the chili. Why I'm coughing. Because soup isn't really filling. Meat. Like I said, you're responsible for yourself. If life will give you lemons, I'll be sipping on some lemonade. But I have to say that, you know, I liked Chris Webby somewhere in the beginning, but he's probably afraid to let go of drugs. Because now he's got all these friends that are also addicted to drugs. So I'm not really listening to him. I'm checking occasionally what he's doing, but it's all the same stuff. It's just about drugs and all that kind of stuff. You know, you have to work for the way you feel. So I don't see him cooking his own meal. That's what I'm saying. He's probably just gonna pay for it. Yeah. Okay, so now I've got this. Now this is the mayonnaise that I just showed you. I mean, it's supposed to be an inspiration, right? To learn cooking. It's not supposed to teach you everything there is about cooking. What I'm doing, at least. It's just to get you going on your own. And to look what's available. If you live close to the ocean, you can collect your own algae. You know, I don't live close to the ocean, so that's a bit harder. At least not yet, you know. I don't know what my life is going to be like. I'm just saying at the moment I am here and I'm doing what I can to learn. Okay. Now when the soup is hot, yeah, it is. It is hot. Okay, here. Now I'm just gonna put the egg on top. Like I haven't tasted any of this. Or maybe a bit to the side. You know, you just have to watch out that it doesn't fall. Nah, it should be alright. There's nothing worse than making food and then see it fall to the ground. Okay, the rest I'll keep for tomorrow. Or probably for later tonight. Oh yeah, tastes nice. Oh yeah. Okay, this goes together, and then I can continue to fight. You know? Remember that one, I do. Okay, you know? So I waited until the most opportune moment. And then I just pushed through, basically. I waited till there was almost to no resistance and I just pushed through. Yeah, I'm just gonna probably take the mayonnaise, maybe eat it next to it. Okay, I have to do dishes at some point. What do I need? I need a fork and a knife. Fork. Yeah, I can just take that from the egg. And then I'll see cheerio. And, you know, just work towards a point where you can enjoy your life. Until then it will just suck. I mean, it's still partly sucking in my life. I'm just saying. So I simply continue to move on and push through. Right? So, lots of hardship. Cheerio.